Welcome to day 4 of the Silent Sculpt Gentle Core Yoga Challenge. This flow is about deepening your connection to your core and building strength safely. Listen to your body, modify as you need, and move only as far as feels good for you. Let's get started. Finding a comfortable place to be, lying down on your back with your knees bent. Bringing your hand to your belly, or you can bring the hands down by your sides. And we're going to begin with some breath work and connecting to the core and the pelvic floor. So taking a deep breath in, expanding the ribs, softening the belly, and then as you slowly exhale out, drawing the belly button to spine, lifting the pelvic floor up gently. Staying soft in the chest and shoulders. And keeping this going. Inhale as you expand, belly, ribs. And then as you exhale, drawing the belly in, lifting the pelvic floor, feeling that zipping up from the pelvic floor all the way up that center line. And continuing with that, maybe closing the eyes or softening the gaze, taking some time here to connect with your body, with your breath. And as you continue to take these deeper breaths, connecting to your pelvic floor and the core. You might start to soften the jaw, all the muscles of the face, feeling the connection of the tailbone connected down, keeping that neutral pelvis. So you've got that little space between the lower back and the mat. And then we're going to come into a reverse tabletop position. So when you're ready, taking your time to release the breath, bringing your hands down by your sides and floating one leg up. Knee is in line with the hip and the knee is in line with the foot. And then bringing the other leg up as well. Keeping that connection of core, belly button to spine, strong core, ribs are closed. And as you exhale, tapping one toe down, and then as you inhale, returning the leg back. Keeping the ribs heavy, pelvis still. There is the option to press the hand to the opposite thigh for support. And also the option to extend the arms forward for an added challenge. Moving at your own pace. Keeping that core connection. So exhale as you tap the toe down, inhale, return. And exhale, tapping down, inhale, return. Keeping it going. Keeping your mind to the core here. Don't let that doming happen. If you notice it happen in the belly and this feels too much, you can always just do one side, so you could have one foot down on the mat and working through one side, and then we can come to the other side. If you want to really challenge yourself here, you can start to bring the arms into this. So as you tap the toe down, you're bringing that arm up and over, and then coming back through center and switching sides. Make sure you're not letting those ribs flare out. You've got your belly button to spine the whole time. The back of the shoulders are pressing back towards the mat, and you are breathing, connecting your breath. Exhale as you tap down. Inhale, return. Exhale, tapping down. Inhale, returning. Beautiful work. So good. Remember, you can modify at any time. So really finding where you're at today and honoring that. Hug it in and taking a moment here. circling the knees in one direction, then the other, relaxing the belly and softening the jaw. Taking a break, breathing deeply into your lower belly. Deep breath in. And then a full breath out. Finding a little massage into those lower abs. Moving this into a gentle reverse crunch, hugging the knees in, and as you exhale, drawing the knees slightly toward your chest, using your core, and then lower back, and everything else stays heavy. No pulling with momentum. Small, slow movement. Your core is drawing in. Beautiful work. Let's come to your tabletop position, all fours. Knees are under hips, hands under shoulders, finding that core engagement. Then we are finding length out of the top of the head, and the tailbone is lengthening to the back wall. Maybe looking down between the knees, making sure that you can't see your feet, so the knees are in line with the feet here. Then inhale as you reach one arm forward, exhale as you return the hand back down, and switching sides. The hand can hover close to the floor or lift in line with the shoulder, working at your own range, finding your balance and keeping everything still and stable through the back. Beautiful. And connecting to your core. Now we're going to do the legs. So you're extending the right leg back and then bringing the leg back to its original position. Switching sides. Left leg lengthens and then returning the leg. Nice. Coming to the other side, keeping this going. Toes can either rest on the floor or lifting the leg in line with the hip. Keeping your pelvis steady. Keeping the core engaged. And keeping your weight even through the center. Your weight is even through both legs and both hands. And inhale as you lengthen out. Exhale, returning the leg. Now, if this feels good, you might do one arm and one leg, extending, and then switching to the other side. Making sure again that you are only moving into a position where you can keep that core engaged and you have got everything feeling really stable and still here. So you don't need to lift the hand and the leg up too high, and you also want to make sure that you're not bringing any tension into the lower back. Inhale, lengthen it out. Exhale, draw it in. And switching. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bring it down. And inhale, lengthen it out. And exhale. We're starting to bring the knee to elbow as you round the spine, chin towards that knee. Inhale, lengthen it out again. Exhale, returning back down. And switching sides. Arm and leg lengthens, rounding the spine. Chin to chest as you draw the knee to elbow, lengthening back out and releasing it. If it feels better, you can have the toes tucked. It can sometimes be helpful for finding a little more balance. Keeping this going, and again, really, if you don't want to have the leg up too high and the arm up too high, you can be really close to the floor here. This is all about finding that core connection and really connecting the core and the pelvic floor and finding long, lean muscle. Beautiful work. And bring it down. Inhale, lengthen it out. Exhale, rounding the spine, chin to chest, elbow to knee. And coming back out again. Nice work. Keep it going, staying strong. And finishing here, we are coming into a cat-cow flow. So finding that belly button coming back towards the spine, chin to chest, rounding the spine, tucking the tailbone, and starting to stay in that position as you start to lengthen the pelvis back towards the heels. And then as you inhale, dropping the belly, gazing up, tailbone up. Exhale, rounding the spine and chin to chest, tucking the tailbone, slightly hinging back, keeping that tailbone tucked. And then inhale as you start to soften through the elbows, dropping the belly, gazing up, and keep it going. So making sure here that you flow with your breath and move at your own pace, not locking out through those elbow joints. So keeping really light through the whole hands, the arms, and really using your core to guide this. You might start to close the eyes or soften your gaze, really connecting into the movement, feeling all of the feelings that you feel, the stretching sensation, the flowing of the body as you move. Amazing work. Keep it going in any way that feels awesome. When you're ready, coming back to that tabletop position and either tucking the toes, or you can also have the top of the feet connected onto your mat, finding that rounding again of the spine, chin to chest, sitting back towards the heels and letting everything start to become heavy here. We're going to round the spine, keeping that chin tucked down towards the chest, just rolling up, stacking the spine vertebra by vertebra, letting the head arrive last, coming to a kneeling position. If it doesn't feel comfortable to be sitting back towards the heels, you can always come to a high kneeling position, and let's stay here. So we are starting to inhale as you lift tall, pelvic floor is gently engaged. And then as you exhale, you are floating the hips back. And as you inhale, you are coming up tall again. So we're finding that neutral pelvis and keeping the shoulders relaxed, ribs are closed, really connecting here into the core, and let's go. So either tucking the toes, or maybe you aren't, whatever feels more comfortable for you. It's the core and the glutes that will be guiding this. So let's begin. Inhale as you start to float up, using your core, and then exhale as you start to sit back towards the heels. You don't have to come all the way back to the heels, coming back to as far as what you like, maintaining that core connection. You might like to imagine that you are painting a wall here. So you're connecting all of the muscles of the arms with this, as well as the shoulders, keeping that connection of pelvic floor and also of core. So keeping the movement coming from the core liftings, the pelvic floor lifting up, zipping up as you come up, and then exhale as you sit back, maintaining that connection of core. And you are keeping everything else relaxed here. Jaw is relaxed. It's just a hinge up from the hips and a hinge back from those hips. And then we are going to come all the way down, sitting down towards those heels and coming to your right side, to the right forearm. Making sure the shoulder is in line with the elbow. You've got the hips stacked in line, and you can have one knee bent and the other leg straight, so that top leg straight. Or you might have both feet stacked with the legs extended. Or maybe you've got both knees bent and stacking the feet. We want to lift up out of the side waist, and then on an inhale, reaching the top arm up. Exhale as you thread the needle, bringing the arm down beneath the waist and then lengthening back up again. So we're having a little test run here. If you want to, you can stay with that, or you can lift the hip and continue with the hip up off of the mat. So making sure that wherever you are keeping everything really balanced here. You've got your core engaged, you're lifting up out of that side waist. Inhale as you lengthen the arm up. Exhale as you look down beneath the armpit, twisting all the way down and keeping everything else in the body still and stable and staying strong, really feeling into that side waist, the obliques. You're probably feeling this in the shoulder as well as the arm muscles. Last one here. And then taking your time to lower down with control. And let's take a little mermaid flow here. So having the legs in whatever position feels comfortable, and then inhale as you float the right arm up and over, and then exhale as you float over to the other side. Finding a really nice stretch into the side waist, and then coming all the way back through center, lengthening the arms out to the side, finding that soft core engagement here, lengthening up tall, and then inhale, coming up and over, exhale back through center. Inhale, sweeping that top arm up and over, exhale, coming back through to the center. Keeping this going, and as you continue with this, finding that you are keeping that very, very nice core engagement here. You are using your core to draw you up through center. Shoulders are relaxed down and away from the ears. Now let's stay here with this, and we are floating up and over to that right side, coming back through center, and then fingertips come out to the sides and keeping this going. Beautiful work. Seeing if you can find a even taller lift up as you come up each time, and letting the core move this, the side waist, and connecting your breath. And next time you come up, staying here, and we are twisting to gaze over the right shoulder, finding length into the spine, maybe a little bit of movement into the head here, and releasing the neck, releasing the jaw, and unwind. Coming all the way back, and let's come over to the opposite side. So coming over to your left side, and we will do that again on this side. Making sure that the shoulder is in line with the elbow. You can have both knees stacked with bent knees, or you can have the legs extended out, or maybe bending through that bottom leg and extending the top leg out. And then let's just take a moment here to test this out. So reaching the top arm up, and then we're gazing under the armpit as you start to find that nice twist into the waist. Blowing a couple more times with this, finding that connection to core, and inhale, reaching the fingertips up, and exhale. Now, if you want to take this again to lift it up, you are lifting the hips up, lifting up through that side waist, continuing here with this reach up, and then exhale as you twist through the waist and thread the needle, staying strong here, keeping everything really still through the whole body, making sure that you have got the hips stacked, the shoulders are stacked, you are keeping your core engaged the whole time, and breathing. Inhale, lifting it up. Exhale, twisting down, finding that amazing connection into that oblique on this side. And one more time, coming up, lifting, lifting, lifting. Exhale, lowering down with control. Beautiful work, well done. Let's do the mermaid on this side. So finding that comfortable position, whatever that may be, of the legs, and let's float it up and over. So bringing the left arm up and over, and then we're floating the arm down as you bring the other arm up and over, gazing underneath the shoulder. And inhale, sweeping it up. And exhale, floating it down. Beautiful. Using your core here to lift you up, reaching the fingertips out to the sides, shoulders relaxed, back of the neck relaxed. Keep it going, connecting your breath, connecting your core. Really using your core here to guide this. So letting the core power the movement. Also finding a really nice openness through the front side of the shoulder as you come down and open the arm up and over. Finding that really nice stretch and lengthening it out. Last one here, and coming up and staying here. Amazing. Let's cool it down. So starting to find a comfortable seat of any kind. Maybe you might have the legs crossed. Maybe you might come into a butterfly position with the legs, soles of the feet coming together and letting the knees fall out wide. You can use a cushion under the outside of the knees if you want to for some support. We're going to finish in a fold here, so lengthening up nice and tall and finding that connection of the core. Noticing that the head is over the heart and the heart is over the pelvis. You've got this beautiful long line from the tailbone all the way out the top of your head. And then inhale as you start to sit up even taller. Exhale, walking the fingertips forward and slowly starting to lower down, keeping that length in the spine and allowing the head to relax forward. It might be comfortable to bring something like a pillow or a bolster underneath the head for some support here. You might just want to relax the arms down, anything at all that feels awesome. You have completed day 4 of the Silent Sculpt Gentle Core Yoga Challenge. Well done. Take a moment to thank yourself for showing up. It was absolutely amazing to have you join me today. Stay here for as long as you like, taking some deeper breaths before going about the rest of your day or night. Let me know down in the comments how you're going with the challenge, how you're feeling, anything at all that's coming up for you. And when you feel ready, join me for day 5. So excited to follow your journey. It was an absolute pleasure to have you join me today. See you in the next one.